Today, we're going to talk about the insider's guide to trading lifestyles. And it's not what you think. So most of the time when we hear about trading lifestyles, we start to think about all those aspirational things, right? Well, we think about the fancy car, we think about the house overlooking the ocean, we think about the fancy bling bling. Trading lifestyle is not about any of that stuff. It's not even about the aspirations of wanting to be financially free or to have more time with friends and family. That's not what a trading lifestyle is. The trading lifestyle that I'm talking about here, and the trading lifestyle that's ultimately going to help you get all those things that you want, it's more about designing a lifestyle that will allow you to trade and allow you to take advantage of the market, that a methodology that will fit into your current life, whether you are working full-time, whether you have a family and a full-time job, whether you are somebody that works nights and weekends, or maybe you're somebody that is a student, right? These are all things that fall into the lifestyle. And when we're thinking of a methodology to take advantage of this thing called the stock market, or if we want to trade cryptocurrencies, or we want to trade whatever, we need to first consider our own lifestyle and how we can design around that. If we don't, the method that we're trying to make work can easily crumble. Here's what I mean. When I first started ChartYourTrade, I wasn't married, didn't have any kids, but I was still working full time. So I designed that business and I designed my trading around my lifestyle at the time. I needed to figure out a way that I could take advantage of the market while still having a full-time job. So I read a lot of books. I read How to Make Money in Stocks by William O'Neill. I read Nicholas Darvis's How I Made $2 Million in the Stock Market. Read all about Jesse Livermore. Read all about Mark Minervini. Read all the Market Wizards books, and how all those people that Jack Schwager profiled, how they were able to be so successful in the market. Read a lot of different things. And I needed to figure out a way to incorporate those things and make them work part-time for me, because many of those traders, pretty much all of them, except for Nicholas Darvis, who is one of my trading heroes for this reason, is that all those other traders, they were all doing it while doing it full-time, right? They all built these methodologies that went on to dramatically outperform the market consistently for decades. And they were doing it from a full-time perspective. So how could I then take what they were doing and make it work for me as somebody that still has a part-time job, right? So that's why I built ChartYourTrade. That's why I built this channel, because I want to be able to help people like us take advantage of all this stuff. So how would I do it? Well, Nicholas Darvis was able to do it. If you're not familiar with his book, Nicholas Darvis was a dancer. I forget exactly when he was alive and when he traded, but during that period, like many years ago, long before the internet, what he was able to do was do all of his research at nights, on weekends, and not look at the market at all during the day. And he would plot out his charts by hand, and he would see where there were these price ceilings and where there were price floors and where the price was kind of bouncing between them. And he would tell his broker, okay, if it breaks above this, then that means that the buyers are starting to gain control and let's go in. If it falls below that, then that means that the sellers are in control now and I want to exit. So he was able to do all this at night on the weekends. So then I started to think, well, there's somebody that was able to do it. How can I do the same? And how can I incorporate a lot of all this other stuff that I've been reading and make it work for me as a part-timer? So I did that. I found ways to make it efficient. I found the parts that resonated with me and I discarded the rest. And I built methodologies that both fit with my mind and with my lifestyle at the time. And it worked. It worked consistently, and it worked very well until life started to change. Now, life didn't really change all that much after I got married. The marriage, it doesn't really change. It's more of just, like the next step of being in a relationship, right? Like the thing that really changed for me was when my daughter was born. When she was born, I wanted to be a great father. And to me, what being a great father meant was spending as much time as possible with her and being there for all the important things, being there for when she started to learn how to crawl, when she took her first step. Well, like all these firsts, and being there at bedtime, being there to hold her at night, all these things that we think about, and I wanted to be there for all of them. So doing those kind of things and also putting in the kind of work and effort that I was previously didn't really fit well together. When she was born, I was still putting in time to do all the work and the research myself for ChartYourTrade. And while I'm able to do that kind of research pretty efficiently for myself, like if I'm doing all the research, it would probably take me about an hour on a weekend to do all my research and planning for the week ahead. To take that research and put it into something that would be useful for you guys would take me previously about maybe 7 hours total to get the blog posts up and out to the world. After she was born, I found myself taking anywhere from as little as 10 hours, that would be like on a perfect weekend, to as much as 20. And the reason why would be because of the constant interruptions, right? Like it's that choppiness, where we could be so much more efficient when we chunk our time, but I wasn't able to do that anymore. So I found myself stressed out, and I was at a point where I was stressed out all the time. I was starting to lash out at family, at friends. I started gaining weight. I was in the worst shape of my life, both mentally and physically, and it was not sustainable. So ChartYourTrade almost folded. What I needed to change and what I neglected at the time was my lifestyle. My lifestyle had changed. My family lifestyle had changed. Every other part of my lifestyle had changed, but I was still trying to maintain the same trading lifestyle, and it didn't fit in anymore. So I took a step back and I figured out new ways to deal with my new lifestyle, and how am I going to make trading and trading successfully now fit into not just a full-time job, but a new and growing family, and all of the stresses and wonderful things that come with a new baby. And here's what I ended up doing. What I finally realized is that I don't need to do everything myself. I already know the types of methodologies that are true to me, right? The ones that make sense to me. There's a lot of methodologies out there. There's value investing, the type that Warren Buffett does. There's the momentum and growth trading that William O'Neill does, that Mark Minervini does, that Dan Zanger does, that Adam Sarhan is doing. There's a lot of people out there that are doing those kinds of similar things. So what I started to do then was, how can I outsource that research and still take advantage of the market? right? Because there's other people that are doing similar things to me. Do I need to necessarily be the one doing all that research? No. And that was the most time-consuming thing. Outsourcing the research and then being able to just take advantage of those trades and have all those trades laid out, then it's just up to me to come up with the trading plan or follow the trading plan that's being laid out in any of these services. And so that's what I started to do. I started working closer with Adam Sarhan. He has this advanced stock report service, and one of the things that he does in there is he gives a model portfolio that tells you exactly where to get in, where to get out, how much to risk, yada yada yada. And so at the onset, I was just following along with that, trade for trade for trade, kind of like doing it, following along, understanding the mindset, learning a couple of things along the way, but just inputting those trades, right? Getting that feel back. And just that part would take about 5 minutes on a weekend or on a Sunday, or even if I didn't have time on that Sunday, inputting the orders on Monday morning and following that plan and just letting it run. So that was a new way for me to still take advantage of the market while having this new lifestyle. Then, as my daughter got a little bit older and I got a little bit of that time back, I was able to then start putting on some of my own trades. So looking at the different stocks in the elite stock setups that Adam also includes in the Advanced Stock Report service, looking at different stocks that are trending on things like Twitter and StockTwits, looking at stocks that are passing our own scanner, ChartYourTrade MRI, and finding trades in there to then execute on and come up with plans. And it was really filtering out the things that are not necessary and just doing the things that are the most leverage, that have the highest leverage, and that mean the most to longer term success. And that's how I was able to adopt a new trading lifestyle that works well with who I am right now. If I wanted to try to do something like day trading, right? Like, let's say I picked up a book, I listened to some people on Twitter, on StockTwits, or wherever, read some blogs, and their day trading just seemed phenomenal, right? Like, let's say I studied it, I read these things, and it looks like it works. And let's say I went so far as to sit in one of these trading rooms, these chat rooms, and watched it develop before my eyes, and wow, that really works. But then how would it fit into my lifestyle? As somebody with a full-time job, so typical hours, 9 to 5, you don't have the capacity to sit in front of a computer and constantly watch a market or be available to take every single kind of trade and manage the trade on the fly like that. What we need to do is manage around our most hectic, our most chaotic days, and build around that too. So we're looking at our overall lifestyle, and we're looking at what our lifestyle looks like when it hits the fan, and we want to build our plans, our methodologies, our trading lifestyle around that, so that way when things do inevitably hit the fan, our portfolio will not. So a key mistake that I think that I did early on was not checking in with myself as my lifestyle changed. It took me nearly seeing my business implode along with my trading accounts to finally realize that something needed to change. What I would do differently now, and what I have been doing differently now, is I check in with myself quarterly. I check in quarterly whether there's been anything new or not, just to see what my lifestyle is like right now, and how is my trading and my business and everything, and what needs to be adjusted, and how can things evolve too. So I'll check in quarterly. Sometimes things get tweaked, sometimes things remain the same. The other time to check in and check in soon would be if there is some kind of a major life change. So if there is another baby that comes in soon after, and in the planning stages of that baby would be, okay, how is that going to impact my business? How is that going to impact my trading? How is that going to impact everything else that is in my life? And then start to plan around those things, so that way I would be more prepared for them rather than finding out the hard way. So those are the two things that I think that will help you dramatically in planning your trading lifestyle. One, check in with yourself routinely. I like to do it quarterly. I would recommend doing it at least quarterly. If you want to do it monthly or maybe semi-annually too, but I wouldn't let it go longer than semi-annually. And then if there are major life changes, if you have a new child, if you change jobs, if you experience something traumatic in your life, you'll want to check in and see how those things are affecting your trading, because everything has an impact. So that was the Insider's Guide to Trading Lifestyles. I really hope that you found it helpful. Let me know, leave it down in the comment section below. Let me know if there was anything else that you would include in this guide. If you have any questions on anything I said at all, leave that down in the comment section below. I would love to jump in and help you out the best that I possibly can. Thank you so much for watching. I really, really appreciate it. If you like the video, click that thumbs up button. That's going to help us out a lot. And make sure that you subscribe to the channel so that way you get every single update. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Take care and have a great day.